Hey everyone, I'm Joe and today I'm doing my first ever Friday read, a little library haul and a live show change. I'll talk about them in reverse total order. So first of all, the live show change. The live show would have been this upcoming Sunday on the 5th of June. However, this doesn't work that well for me and Rachel, so we are delaying it by 2 weeks. It will now be on Saturday the 18th of June at the same time as it would have been this Sunday, which is 7 o'clock GMT or 1 PM Central Time. It will be me and Rachel talking about SF short fiction that we've read over the past month, well as it is now, a month and a half. Next is a little library haul. The first book is The Just City by Joe Walton. I've heard many people that I trust on BookTube say they really like this. However, I've also heard quite a bit of negative things about this book as well, so I'm very sort of conflicted, hence why I'm getting it from the library, because obviously if I don't like it then I haven't spent any money on it. It sounds quite interesting. It is science fiction and fantasy, and it has elements of time travel and all sorts of weird and wonderful ideas in it, and frankly it just sounds really quite curious, so I'm quite interested to get to it. And obviously if I like it then there is a second and third book, because this is actually a part 1 of a trilogy. Next I got So Cold the River by Michael Crichton. This is a mystery suspense book with sort of supernatural elements. It's sort of horror as well. It sounds pretty interesting to me. I've read one other book by Crichton, which is just over there somewhere, which I actually did really enjoy. This, in fact, even has a similar cover to that book, oddly enough. Same sort of dark blues and such. And it does sound very interesting, and so I thought I might as well get it. The third book is Nocturnes by Kazooie Ishiguro. I've heard of Ishiguro many times over my life. I've always wanted to read something by him, especially more so in recent years, because obviously I've heard of him mentioned on BookTube more. And this was the only Ishiguro book I had in the library at the time. This is a sort of short story collection. There's 5 short stories in it. I mean, they're pretty decent short story lengths from what I know, and they are all literary fiction, and I know nothing about the short stories themselves other than that Ishiguro is held in very high regard and he's very well liked as an author. So now I'm going to finally find out what all these fuss is about. The final book looks very boring because it is lacking the dust jacket. Obviously it's a library book, but it is classic science fiction, The First Golden Age, edited by Terry Carr. This has a series of short stories within it. Several of them are by authors that I'm very familiar with, like Asimov, Heinlein and Theodore Sturgeon. I've been wanting to read something by Sturgeon for years now, and as is often the case, I just haven't got around to it for whatever reason, and now I finally will. And there's a few other authors in there that I'm vaguely aware of but not too familiar with, so it'd be an interesting read this will. And it stood out to me because, well, everything else all looked nice and fancy on the shelf, and this is just jet blue with no cover. And obviously it's got science fiction written in such large letters that I was just curious what about science fiction it actually was. So now I'll get on to the Friday read. The first book I am reading is one of the library books, and that is science fiction The Golden Years. I've read 3 of the short stories in it so far. They would be The Smallest God by Lester Del Rey, definitely an interesting one. Into the Darkness by Ross Rocklin. I'm not entirely sure what I'm thinking about this yet. And Vault of the Beast by A.E. Van Vogt. I've actually read this before in another book that I've got just there. So, and I liked this story and I like Van Vogt. So this was a pretty predictable one, obviously. The next book that I'm reading is also one of the live books, and that is Nocturnes by Ishiguro. I've read the first short story in this, which is called Crooner, and frankly I'm already very happy that I've picked this up from the library because It was a brilliant short story. The writing is phenomenal. The idea is very simple but extremely effective. And I'm not going to say too much more yet because I haven't got all the way through the stories, but I'm very happy that I picked this up. I really am. And the third and final book that I'm reading is The Drawing of the Three by Stephen King. This is book 2 of 7 in the Dark Tower series, and I'm very interested to see where these books go. I've read the first one only a few days previously. I've got a tiny bit into this book, not far at all, but I'm very curious where the gunslinger ends up and what relationship and what links he has to the Man in Black, who he has had a few conversations with, which I'm actually surprised about because I didn't think they would have any interactions until fairly late in the series, but they've already had several conversations and the odd interactions, frankly, considering he's pursuing him across the land. So I'm very happy about this and very curious to see where things will end up by the end of this book, and indeed by the end of each book and overall in the series. So with that said, that's it for this video. If you've read any of these or would like to read any of them, then please leave a comment below and we can have a conversation as always. If you have any book suggestions for me based on things I've read in this video or I did read in the past, then feel free to leave a suggestion as well. I'm always interested to read new authors and new genres even. All social media links can be found in the description box below, as they always are. And that is it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you another time. Bye for now.